in the first iteration of this bill, we were talking about license and reg, and now this lays out with a certain degree of precision just who all we're hitting. And I think this is, once Oregonians have the opportunity to kind of contemplate this, I just don't want to pass over it lightly. This is a significant number of fee increases, including, I would call out on antique vehicles. A certain member of our household collects those, and when he sat down and figured out how much this is going to cost him, not a happy camper. And so I just don't want to pass over a significant part of this bill lightly.
Senator Boquist.
I'll just add to it and try to add a little bit of clarity. When you take the basic construct that we had of tiering and the values you had, and then you proportionally in legislative revenue apply to the fees, this is their proportional share of each of those as we go out. And yes, as a farmer, I see things that I don't like either, unfortunately, in this. And so I would agree with you. Some of them definitely jump out, and there's always the opportunity to come back in February or at a later point and say, okay, this one didn't work out if we did it proportionally. What legislative revenue tried to do is, if I recall correctly, there's something like 146 different titles and registrations. And if you remember here, we did at least 2 years of tampering with them, which makes almost 300 calculations. And of course, this is by cost share analysis how they flow out. Some, of course, do jump out, like the antique vehicles jumps out seriously across the board. So I would concur with you that while they do, some of them really jump out, and the possibility of coming back and, of course, addressing them in February, which this committee will still, if we vote on this and exist, we will all still exist in February to make any technical changes we need to make.
I appreciate that explanation, that this is proportional, that these weren't just capricious dollar amounts chosen by the four of you.
No.
I have a clearer understanding, but I think that this will benefit from some more thoughtful review, just as Senator Boquist suggested, because we've managed to annoy huge segments of Oregon here.
Madam Chair.
Well, and Senator, we can direct staff to start keeping a list of those things that we might want to revisit as well in 18.
We've already done.
Yes.
And Madam Chair, I would remind us that in our transportation committees, every biennium, we also get a report from ODOT that explains what the fees are and how much it costs to actually, deal with some of this administration and some of the work. So there's an opportunity through that process also to review fees.
No, I'm not going to resist the temptation to say some of those fees haven't been adjusted in a long time, and the fact that ODOT is selling below cost and making it up in volume is not acceptable. But that's another story.
There's actually a bill, Senator, that is waiting to be passed that talks about an adjustment in those fees and actually paying for those fees, but it's not here.
What page are we on, Heidi?
I think we jumped to page 6.
108.
Section 40.
108 in the big bill, please. Which is section
40.
Section 40.
Again, for the
Welcome, Mr. Dale. Is it your turn now?
Yes, briefly. Alan Dale, Senior Deputy Legislative Counsel. Sections 40 and 41 increase the gas tax by 4 cents beginning January 1, 2018. Sections 42 and 43 increase the use fuel tax by 4 cents beginning January 1st, 2018. Section 45 provides additional 2-cent increases in both the gas tax and the use fuel tax for calendar years beginning January 2020, 2022, and 2024. If the Oregon Transportation Commission submits a report stating certain specified facts,